Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing Jurassic World set number 75940, Gallimimus and Pteranodon Breakout. This set has 391 pieces, it's for ages 7 and up, and it retails for $50 in the US. This was released in July 2020 as part of that year's wave of Jurassic World sets, and it's pretty unique because it's the first LEGO set to include a real Gallimimus. Here's Owen. Now, I'm getting tired of Owen minifigures. I feel like they all kind of look the same. I do like the printing on this one, though, especially with those canisters across the front, and he does have some nice leg printing as well. Around the back, he does have a little bit of back printing, but, nothing special, and then he does have an alternate face. Claire isn't in quite as many sets as Owen, but this is the same outfit that they've been using for her since 2018. And it would be nice to see her in something different, or like give her leg printing, just something. I mean, I'm glad that we got the regular Jurassic World Claire in summer 2020 in the Indominus set, but it would be nice to see like a different, like adventurer Claire. She also has an alternate face as well, and I do like her hairpiece, and I also like her torso. I just think that like patch of skin should be the same color as the rest of her skin and not lighter. Here's an ACU Trooper. I love the printing on this minifigure, like, that military style printing, and he does have some nice leg printing as well. He's holding a walkie-talkie with that classic Lego printed piece, and I really like his face, actually, because it's not that common. It's from Star Wars, and I really like, that kind of microphone thing that he has going on. Around the back, it's really nice back printing with that Jurassic World logo in the metallic color, and with his hat removed, you can just get a better look at his face print. The only thing I think that could have improved this minifigure would have been one of like the kind of SWAT vests that they gave the ACU troopers in the 2015 sets. Here's the Pteranodon for this set. This is exclusive in its dark green and sand green coloring. We got a similar Pteranodon with different printing, I think, in the 2012 Ocean Explorer set. It was called something like that, in the dino theme. That was one of the only dino sets I didn't get, so it's really great to own a Pteranodon that's almost exactly like that. If you haven't seen these figures before, they're just like one main body piece with an upper head area and then a lower jaw, and then you have these awesome wing pieces. These are like those injected plastic style Lego pieces, so the marbling pattern is going to be a little bit different on all of them, and they are slightly flexible, but they're not rubbery like some other pieces are, for example, the head. It can also hold on to stuff in its claws, anything bar-sized. You can have a minifigure ride it. The body's dual molded. I really love Lego dinosaurs in general, and just this system of molds is really awesome. You can adjust the wings however you want. The only thing you can't do is make it walk on its arms. But the head can move upwards. You just have to press that down, and then you can have it screaming through the air. And that's a really good look for it as well. I'm just really happy that we got a new Pteranodon. Here's the Gallimimus, which is pretty much the star of this set. I said that this is our first real Gallimimus because technically we got one in a free promo polybag in 2015 for the Jurassic World game, except that was a recolored Coelophysis, so that, Gallimimuses aren't carnivores, so I'm glad that we actually have a real one now. What's most interesting about this figure to me is that it only uses one new piece. So the body is the body of the raptor, and they use that for, other medium-sized animals like the Stygimoloch from the 2018 sets and the Dilophosaurus. The legs are from the Dilophosaurus. The arms are from the Stygimoloch and Carnotaurus. So the only new part is actually the upper head area, because even the lower jaw is reused, I think, from the Dilophosaurus, but I'm not 100% sure. So honestly, the fact that they made such a good looking new species out of mostly reused pieces is really impressive. I like the coloring a lot because these look exactly like the Gallimimuses in the first Jurassic Park movie as well as the first Jurassic World movie. You can move the arms. They look really small and stubby, which is kind of funny. But I mean, they're probably my least favorite part just because the nails aren't printed on the feet, which I think doesn't look quite as good. And then, the feet just move in the regular manner. The end of the tail is rubber. This is my first time reviewing Lego dinosaurs, proper Lego dinosaurs. And again, I really love these. I love dinosaurs in general, but Lego dinosaurs especially. On top, you have a couple of studs so you can make a minifigure ride it. You can turn the head all the way around, and there's some really nice printing on it. And then you can also open the mouth, and it's got some teeth inside. So that's a really great look. Again, I'm super happy to be getting a new species, especially an herbivore, because we don't get many herbivores in the Jurassic World line. Now that we're getting sets every year, though, we are getting more new species, so I'm really happy about that. Here's the oversized vehicle build for this set. Now, I actually really like this one. It reminds me of the remote control Batmobile from 2018. I never got that set, even though I really wanted it, because I just never wanted to pay that ridiculous $100 price tag. But I like this build a lot because, I don't know, I've seen people like rip on it for looking too cartoony, but I kind of love it because it's just so like weird and chunky. It's just like a square with like 4 really close together wheels. And I just think it's a funny look, but it's kind of cool as well. There's a lot of detail on it. So up front, you can see you've got some lights. Then we have like this separate net shooter area, which I'll show you separately in a second, but you do have like this little engine detail up front, which I like. You've got a couple of stickers, you know, just typical Jurassic World stickers with like the dino claw marks. Those look great. You can like flip these up. They're not supposed to be flipped up, but you know, you can if you want to see like the wheels move. You've got some more stickers on top over here, as well as towards the back with those caution stripes. And up top, there's even like this rotating satellite dish piece. That's really cool. I mean, kind of useless, but I mean, you can attach the Pteranodon there like I did for the thumbnail and intro of this video, which I think is a cool feature. Around the sides, we have like a little ladder to get up. I like that they suggest that, even though, I mean, a minifigure would have to like jump up to reach it since it's like far above their heads. These little pieces over here are actually deployable drones. So you've got one on either side, and they're built in a pretty clever way, just using 4 of these steering wheel pieces. And then they each have 1 sticker, and you can adjust like their eye almost, or their camera or whatever that is. Drones have been appearing in a lot of LEGO sets recently. They're becoming, you know, a bigger thing in the real world. And I think that they're really cool, even though Jurassic World does have, I feel like, a high amount of drones compared to some other themes. Around the back, you can see some tail lights and some bars. And this entire square can actually be pulled out. And this is a remote lab unit. So I'll be taking a look at that separately in a second. But once that's pulled out, you can see that there's storage for 2 tranquilizer guns. I really was not expecting storage back there, so that was a great surprise. Coming back around to the front, we have like this nice windshield piece that's actually used like as an X-Wing cockpit. So it's interesting to see it in like this translight blue color. I did not mean to drop that drone in there. But once you get inside, you can see that you've got seating for 2, which is great. I would be upset if this giant vehicle could only fit 1 person. And there's a little steering wheel as well as a control panel down there. The one thing I don't like about this part of the build is that it's completely open by the wheel. I think that that's kind of a dumb design when they could have easily built up like a little wall right here, or at least covered it up a little bit more. That's what it looks like with a couple of minifigures in there. You can see that they fit really well. And actually, because those are hollow studs, you could like stick some bar-sized accessories into there, like the tranquilizer guns if you wanted to. So that's kind of handy. Then onto the net shooter. So we have a little sticker on top, and this is the newer style net shooter piece. So that can be like risen up, and then you can just like, oh, you can't really rotate it. I thought it would go side to side a little bit. It doesn't, but you can just bring it up and then shoot it like from whatever height you want. Underneath it, you actually have a crate. So again, like they're using their space very well. And if I can get that thing out, inside is a little chicken leg so that you can try luring the dinosaurs in. I think that that's a really nice detail. Again, just a great use of space there. And let's move on to that net shooter. So you can try using the net shooter on either animal. I think I'll take the Gallimimus right now just because it's easier. So all you have to do is like just kind of position it to where you want and then hit the plunger on the back. And then it throws out this circular net. Circular nets are not as common as the square ones, so that's great to see. However, as you can see, it doesn't work that well, and this is laughably small to try to capture such a large creature. In this case, I think the rectangular net would work a little bit better because it is larger, because it also just drapes better. This one's kind of like too fine meshed. So yeah, this is really not going to catch a dinosaur at all. Like you can't even make it drape around it in a believable way there. That's kind of better, but yeah, these nets are just too small for the size of dinosaurs that they're pretending that they can capture, which is funny, but then also annoying, because even if you take the Pteranodon, like what? It just doesn't fit. I really wish that they had used a square net if they were going to use a net at all. And overall, LEGO's net launching features just never really work well, but especially not in Jurassic World sets, because the nets are always like half the size or like 1/3 the size of the dinosaur. Okay, I'm going to try the net thing again because while I was putting it back in, I think I pushed the plunger out even more. I'm not familiar with the new nets, so maybe it's supposed to shoot like further than I thought. So let me go ahead and try that again. Okay, so I take back what I said. That was a pretty decent shot. It still doesn't solve the problem with the net being way too small to capture the dinosaur, but I guess I was just shooting it wrong because this thing can actually go like a decent distance. It just doesn't really unfurl properly as it gets shot out. So maybe the net shooter part just needs to be a tiny bit bigger. Here's the mobile lab unit. It's got some really nice green window panes, which I appreciate. Other than that, it's really tiny. You can just pull it open like that. And then inside you've got a couple of eggs. You've got a screen showing the Gallimimus. On this side, you have the new 1x1 mosquito and amber print, a little jar, a fire extinguisher, and then if you open this up, you do have this medium blue colored syringe. You can't fit a minifigure in here when it's closed. Here's just the ACU Trooper for comparison, but it is a pretty good size while they're out of it. I just think that this is like a cool feature. It's just kind of tiny, and maybe it would have been better if they had just built the back of the thing into a lab that couldn't be detached. Here are the extra parts for this set. Curiously, you get an extra Gallimimus lower jaw, so that's interesting. The box is that typical $50 box size, and I do like the art on it, you know, with the Gallimimus running away. On top, it shows you the characters again, and then around the back, you can see what you can do with the set. And I mean, I do really like this trend of including 2 dinosaurs in every 2020 set except the Juniors one. Here are the 2 instruction manuals for the set. The smaller one doesn't have any ads, but the bigger one has an ad of all of the dinosaurs on the back, as well as the dinosaurs from last year. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't think that they would show all of them, but I mean, I really like that art of you know, all of the dinosaurs together because it's like, you know, collect them all, and I love collecting them. The Indominus looks really weird though because it's just running off into space growling at nothing. And then you do have an ad for all of the summer 2020 sets in here, again with that weird limited availability sign. So overall, I really like this set. I feel like I might be in the minority there because I've seen a lot of people just complaining about how stupid this vehicle is. I think it's good for what it is. There's a lot of space in it. There's a lot of storage. There's cool functions. However, I do think it could have been improved. For $50, this set isn't bad. Like, honestly, saying $40 kind of seems wrong to me because this seems like a $40 vehicle, but you couldn't charge $40 with those 2 large dinosaurs. So honestly, this set's not as overpriced as some Jurassic World ones. I don't think buying it at full price would be that bad, especially not if you really like the dinosaurs here. But I just feel like the vehicle could have been improved a little bit. So you have that lab section. It's cool that it's a detachable lab, but there's like no floor space. Like, you can't put any of the minifigures on the studs in there. It's just kind of cramped. So I think that it would be even better if they had just turned all of this back here into a lab section that's just part of the vehicle. So there could be like a little suggestion of a doorway behind Owen, and then there would just be a lab section with a removable roof that you could look into. I also think that this satellite dish up here is pretty useless. Like, this does nothing. It either should have been a chair for the ACU Trooper to sit in, or what I think would be even better is if they just removed this net shooter feature from right here and put it up there where the satellite dish is. Because then that could also include a chair for the ACU Trooper, but then that net shooter could be rotating around the entire top, and then you would have even more room down here for more minifigures or more storage or whatever you wanted. I might do those modifications, probably not anytime soon, but like maybe in a few months if I really want to, because I actually really like those ideas. I mean, I see what LEGO was going for. I think they accomplished it just fine. I just think that like I could make it even better to suit what I prefer, especially this thing. This is just useless. I'm really disappointed that there's no space for the ACU Trooper in this vehicle because it is pretty big, so it should be able to carry like 3 people. I don't think that that's ridiculous to ask for because there's not even like a good place to stand him up here. So those are my thoughts on this set. I'm really glad I didn't pay $50 for this. I got it for like $27 because of like price matching at Target and stuff, and I'm very happy with it for that price. Can't wait to review the Indominus Rex versus Ankylosaurus set. Don't know when I'm going to get it, but that's definitely my favorite of this wave, although this is my second favorite. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.